Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us for another weekly featured Dragon Lord. This week we are featuring Zami. She is our spreadsheet vault queen. We will be going over all of that, but first, hello Zami. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, good to be here.
Awesome. So, we're just gonna get to know you a bit better.
Okay.
So, how did you first discover War Dragons and what drew you to it?
I was actually searching the Google Play Store looking for a new game that had dragons in it. And I came across the ad for War Dragons that was going at the time. Went, oh, this looks cool, and read some of the reviews and was like, yeah, I'll try it out. And that's how I installed the game.
Awesome. Do you remember when you started playing? Like how long ago? Or what year it was?
I had to go look it up for exact details, but it was fall of 2017.
Nice.
So it's been 3.5 years now.
3.5 years. That is awesome. So, what are some changes that you've noticed over the 3.5 years? Were things a bit different 3.5 years ago, or was it pretty much how it is now?
Things have definitely changed. When I started, there was quite a bit of activity in the lower leagues, and I joined a bronze team because, of course, I was tiny, and I'm like, well, I need to start in bronze. And joined a team, something's bar. I don't remember exact name of it now. And the team itself was very quiet, but there was actually activity in bronze. And then I got invited to gold, so I went to a gold team and I stayed there probably for close to a year. I was only playing casually at the time.
Right,
And
right.
gold one was actually very competitive. If we fell below 50 members, you get declared on almost immediately. So now I don't think gold's really that competitive anymore. It,
I haven't been in gold so long, I have no idea.
I created an alt about 3 months after I started. I created an alt, and the alt is currently in and out of its own team in gold because I don't play it as much. And gold is nowhere near as active as it used to be. I would say probably platinum 4 is now the bare minimum of what gold used to be 3 years ago.
Got
But other
you.
than that, there's been a lot of good changes as well. When I started, the sapphire wall was still a thing. We were complaining, going, oh my gosh, you work for a month of straight activity to try to get enough tokens to get one breed in sapphire, and you were lucky if you made it. And now you can just,
Wow.
there's players that have started after me that can catch up to me in half the time that it took me to get to where I'm at.
From all the
Yes.
discounts. That's awesome, really. That way your friends can catch up with you quicker if you have new friends that start
Oh yeah,
playing.
and definitely. There's also a lot more resources out there than when I started. That's one of the things that I do is I will go and I'll start a game, and once I get really interested in it, I start going and searching out the community resources. So I found Red's breeding paths really early. So I didn't find it at gold or platinum. I actually found it at purple, I think.
Oh my god, that's
Yes.
amazing.
So
I think I was like pretty deep into gold when I found it. So that's
I
awesome.
like to try to optimize all my play as much as possible. So I went searching for all of this once I realized I was going to continue playing for more than a couple of days, and just went through. And then of course my alt I was able to catch up and make better than the mistakes that I made on my main account. So it's been really fun just to have all of those resources. And then now with the spreadsheet vault, there is so many more resources out there now than there was when I started. So players can really optimize their gameplay from the very beginning if they want to.
I think some people might not even know about that, right? Like, so for me, I played a war game that was a lot like Atlas before this, and that was like my first real, I don't know, mobile game, even kind of remotely like this with people and like coming to War Dragons. Like, I don't know, I had no idea that people made resources like that to like make the game better and make it better for you and give you like strategy to play the game. I don't know. So maybe I'm the only person that was clueless, but I would imagine there's a lot of people that don't know that there's all these tools we can take advantage of.
There's quite a few. I still encounter many on teams where I will go, "Are you using the fort planner, this fort?" And they're like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So
Yeah.
I have to give them the fort planner, and then there's some that refuse to use it, and that's perfectly fine if they don't want to use it. But there's many that do not know that all of this exists yet, because they started in the game and they expect it to all be in the game. So when they realize there's a whole other community of resources out there, they're just like, "Oh, where is this?" So I still get asked, "Hey, what's the best egg combo for gold?" And I'm like, "Go to this website."
So, what keeps you playing the game?
I like the new dragons that come out. I like flying the dragons. I also like the people. So I like helping people. I like talking to people. That's really what keeps me in the game.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a lot of reasons. So it's not just the people. Like you actually do like the dragons and you still have love for the game.
For the most part, yes. There are some frustrations with it, as with every game. But right now, I am trying to get back to what I love to do, which is to just play the game and fly and practice my flying and just go kill bases.
So, what type of dragons do you like to fly?
Once I learned how to fly them, I love hunters. Some of them I can fly very well, some of them I can't. I cannot fly Hosset like a master flyer. I could probably do it if I practiced a lot more, but I cannot do it right now. There are newer players that really put my skills to shame when it comes to some of the hunters, but I prefer to fly them over the others. All of them have their own unique abilities and quirks, so I like to try them all, so I'm not going to say no, I don't like it. But warriors for me are kind of the slowest, but on days when I'm not feeling well, I still will go to a warrior because, it's easier to fly.
Great. What would you say as far as for people that don't know how to fly hunters or don't know how to fly specific dragon types, how can they get better at it? I think you mentioned, once you got good at flying hunters, then they became your favorite. So what are some things with that you would say for other people to learn?
Well, for me, and what I would recommend to anybody that's asking is look at different people flying, check out different videos because everybody has a slightly different style. And so you can actually pick up pieces from each person's style of flying to then try to meld how you are best flying. And it's not going to be exactly like somebody else. And then, honestly, it just takes lots and lots and lots of practice and lots and lots and lots of dying in order to not only understand how to fly a specific type of dragon, but in many cases, one specific dragon. Because of their spell kit will change how that dragon flies compared to other dragons of its type.
So really, every time you get a new hunter, you just have to spend lots and lots of time learning that one specific hunter.
In some cases, yes. It took me, let's see, we had Calivore in fall. It took me probably close to 2 months to figure out how to fly him effectively. It just took that long.
So when you say like Hasset isn't really I think it
Yes.
was Hasset, wasn't really your type, what makes you like some hunters more than others?
It's their skill ability. Some of them I'm just not fast enough in order to use effectively. In order to be a master Hasset flyer and really a master hunter flyer, you need to have super fast reflexes, which means you need super dexterity. And I have yet to be able to sand the blue mage on the turn and then hit that spell to blink forward to stop any shots coming, and then just before the blue is sanded, that spell is canceled by the blue, so that you can do all of this at once. I cannot get that timing down. It's a split second timing that I'm not fast enough to get yet. I'm sure if I practiced another year I could do it, but I kind of decided
Right.
no, I'm not going to do that. And other hunters are more forgiving, so you don't need that super fast skill set. But there are some flyers that it's just amazing what they can do. Even with the older lineage dragons, you're looking at them going, "What?" Deer in the headlights look just watching a video of it, trying to figure out how they're doing it.
With that, are you looking forward to? Are you going for a mythic this season? And if you are you looking forward to Zool?
So, as part of GPF, it's widely known that we are able to test the dragons when they come out. And I have flown Zool, and Zool is very difficult for me to fly, but I have gotten some advice on how to fly it, so yes, I will be going for Zool. I have gotten a mythic
Nice.
every season since summer of 2019.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Congrats. I'm still undecided on the mythics. I originally wanted Saratharim for my perch because I need a mythic earth perch
Right,
dragon.
yes.
And I'm not the worst hunter flyer, but I'm definitely not the best. And like Calivore is hard enough for me that I'm still practicing. And Invokers, I think I'm decent. Like I love Nausea. But anyway, so Zool, I feel like I did okay while we had Zool, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm so good with this dragon. It was not anything like that.
Yeah, for me, Zool is going to be a much harder learning curve than Calivore was, and it took me 2 months to really get the Calivore down and the timing of the spells down. For Zool, it's probably going to take me at least the same amount of time to get that down right,
Right.
so that I can fly effectively defended. Because right now I'm still even dying undefended because
Right.
a time super shot by the AI and I'm dead. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a challenge for sure, but I understand the love for Sora. He is much better after being buffed.
Yes, I agree.
He's much better. So I wouldn't blame anyone for wanting to get him.
So, what are 2 or 3 favorite dragons that you've had throughout your time playing War Dragons?
Oh, let me think here. My first mythic that I ever got is probably my favorite, which is UVS. I still love flying him when I can. The first warrior that I actually required a little bit of skill for me. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I'm like, he's a warrior, right?
He is a warrior.
I remember when he came out, but I don't think I got a mythic that season.
Yeah, that was the.
I don't know if I was getting mythics
That
yet.
was the UVS insert, and it was
Okay.
before the change where you could pick which lines that you got. So if you got the discount dragon and you wanted a mythic, you were essentially locked in to that specific.
Right.
Which is another change that they did, which is absolutely amazing. So you're no longer
I totally
locked
forgot
in.
about that. Yes, that is such a great change.
Yes, it is.
Pick what you actually want.
So I had a lot of fun that season. I ended up getting him about week 7, week 8. I can't remember now. So
Wow, like early, like quick.
I did. So
that's awesome.
I saved for 2 seasons to do that, and I went against what I now tell everybody, which is save, don't go broke. If you keep saving, you can snowball the effect, which is how I've been able to get one every season, and I've only paid for Elite. I don't buy any packs, although I do buy some cosmetics here and there. But yeah, I went broke that season, and I paid for it because after that, the next season, Ronin came out, and I loved the look of Ronin. There was absolutely no way I could get him because I had gone broke the previous season.
Oh.
So yeah, it hurt me in that aspect. But really, UVS was my favorite dragon, I would say, up until Nadja. Although I liked flying Narlith as well, but I really liked flying Nadja.
I love Nadja. Yes.
And then
I'm on my last Evo stone with Nadja.
Yes, my Nadja's now expert, so I understand. And then
getting close.
The invoker that I really like is Shogroth. That's the one that I like flying.
I like that one too.
It's a fun dragon to fly. May not be as powerful, but it's a fun one to fly.
Did you got a mythic this last season?
Yes, I did. I chose Icaros.
What did you get? Icaros? Yes. Joe wants to know, how long did you play before you got your first mythic?
Well, let me go look. When did UVS come out again? Because I was a casual.
So Ronin was spring. So if UVS was right before, then that was winter.
Okay.
UVS fall of 2017.
Okay, fall of 2017. Yeah, so this Sorry, I'm on Neon War Dragons looking at dates and such. So it was winter 2018 when I got UVS, so I had played a little over a year. And what I will say is that first year, I will consider myself a casual player. I played maybe 2 hours a day at most during that year. So I really didn't move very far. But it was winter 2018. I was in a different team by that point. I was on my 4th team. And
you had saved for 2 months.
I had saved for 2 months prior, and I had just started to become competitive. I had just started really pushing and playing the game. So that's when I got UVS, which bankrupted me, so I couldn't get one in spring 2019. And then in summer 2019, I got Meglock, and since then I have gotten a mythic every season if I chose. I did choose not to get one in winter of 2019 that year because I didn't like either one by the end of the season. And I saw what was coming in spring with Nadja, and I went, oh, I really want that mythic early as soon as I can. So I chose not to spend my resources to get that mythic in winter and used it to jumpstart me for spring 2020.
Awesome. Awesome.
But I could have got it if I'd wanted it.
Okay. Would you marry, friend, or unfriend UVS, Nausea, and Shogroth?
Would I marry?
So you have to pick which one you would marry, which one you would friend, and which one you would unfriend. Of the three.
So UVS, Shogroth, and Nausea.
Mm-hmm. Tough decision,
yes.
huh?
I think it would be UVS to marry because it's still my favorite dragon. In fact, it's still the background on my iPad. And unfriend Shogroth and friend Nausea.
Love it. Good choices. They're all great dragons, though. We love them. I just like to make people pick out of their favorites.
It's definitely hard. And I probably only unfriend Shogroth just because Eldritch like dragon.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love the theme, but
so what are some of your fondest, most favorite memories in the game, throughout the game?
I still remember shortly after all of Platinum got Atlas and we got Atlas for the first time, I had saved up enough troops and started sniping in Allegheny. That was fun. I spent hours learning how to do that. Gotten in several castle raids that have been both frustrating and rewarding when you finally get that castle. Other than that, it's mainly been in team chat, just helping people, celebrating wins, trying to help, I don't know how you would say, mitigate the losses. My fondest memories have been really helping the community, whether through my team or through the rest of the community.
Someone made some funny faces with Allegheny.
Yes. Allegheny was different back then. It was super, super busy, and there was not as much lag as there is now.
I feel like it's always super, super busy. I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a while.
When I was going in sniping at Allegheny, there was regularly 400 or 500 people between the two castles.
Wow!
Now it's like, oh, really? It's dead. Yeah, you have 30, 40 people there. Oh, there was really nobody there. But it used to be the place to go. We called it Fight Pits for a reason.
Oh my gosh. I had no idea.
Yes, more players and less lag. You could still get sniped. You could still get lagged out trying to move out. but it's nowhere near as bad as it is now. I will be honest with that.
I wonder why it's worse now, right?
There's several possibilities going around. Really, we won't know until PG decides to tell us what's going on. They're working on it.
Gotcha.
That's all they've put in the forums, is that they're working on it. They know what the issue is. They think they know what the issue is. And hopefully we shall see it fixed by the end of next month. Just knock on wood that we actually see it soon.
How long have you been on your current team? So as you were saying, like really memorable moments have been helping people out, like in team chat and stuff like that. Have you spent time like just mentoring people, or is it just like randomly happened?
So my current team, I came to this team this season, so I have been here for about 3 weeks now. And
Oh, nice.
that is simply because I decided to take a break. I am technically, in quotes, on vacation.
Good for
For
you.
2 years, probably a little over 2 years, I was officer, or in the last year, leader of a team. And we went from Platinum 3 all the way to Sapphire 2. Going through different teams and merges and such. It was the same core group of players, though. And one of them, I don't know if she's going to be watching today. Her in-game name is Cat Queen. And another one is Mowgli. And they're on my old team, which is Draco Genis. And both of them I have mentored along with the rest of the team since they were probably level 80. And Mowgli is now 450, 470, I think.
Oh, wow.
And Cat Queen just broke 400. And this has only been in the last year.
Oh, little ducklings have grown their wings,
Yes.
and they're flying out of the nest.
So it's been a lot of fun to help them, but I just needed a break, and I needed to just go back to being a player, and just I really let them go do what they needed to do and let them have fun where they were at. And I came to Screaming Hawks, which is I say pirate team. It's not really a pirate team. It's not part of any of the mega alliances. And I did that on purpose so that I did not have as much limits as the mega alliances put on you in terms of who you can hit in Atlas. So that gives me the break from the player side politics of the game.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to, but do you want to elaborate more on what your journey's been like? So you've been officer. Did you say you were also
Yes.
leader? And like how long did all that go on for? And how much work is that?
Oh,
And
it's a lot of work. I will say that I have been officer / leader of a team. Let's see. I was leader of Angry Demons. No, sorry, Torque and Power. I got mixed up there. I went from Torque and Power, made officer about 2 years ago. But I was helping before that, and I was officer on another team in gold before that. So it's kind of been on and off there. And then that season when I got UVS is when I was on Torque and Power. And I had just been there for like a couple of months, and I'm doing this. I'm going to competitive. I got full into the game, not just casual. And the leader at the time noticed because I kept going, the people don't they're confused in team chat. So I started trying to help and just offering help and backing people, making sure things were going on. Come on, let's get the event done. There's, the PvP islands up, whatever the event was, like for Team Gauntlet. And the officers noticed and were like, hey, do you want to be an officer? And I'm going, yeah, sure. And so got to be an officer, and then it was just constant recruiting. You're always recruiting because you're always losing people. And recruiting gets harder and harder and harder in terms to find people that want to be as competitive as you want for your team. And then just keeping everybody
and
on
also
top.
want to stay and not continue to
Right.
move up.
So, yeah, it eventually what happened was the current leader needed a break because his real life was getting to be really, really busy. So he asked me if I wanted to take over leader. And I hesitantly said okay. And from that point forward, I held leader for 9 months until I needed to step back due to my real life. And I stepped back for about 3 months. And when we merged into Dracogenis this past August or so, when we were going through that merge process of all of us talking together about it, it just shocked me because the person who was leader by title of Angry Demons goes, nope, I'm leader by title, but Zami's the actual leader. She's the one who actually runs the team. And I'm like, what? I'm supposed to be on break. So, uh, it kind of merged into that, and then I was co-leader with River Song for the next 5 months before I finally went, I can't do it anymore. And it was a lot of work, not just besides doing the spreadsheet vault. The spreadsheet vault is easy compared to it. I spent more time probably doing the admin side of running a team than I did playing the actual game. I had players
Yeah.
bypassing what I was doing in Atlas and in the main game because I was trying to get everything else done on the outside of the game so that the rest of the team could just enjoy and play. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, of course. A lot of work, and a lot of people I think have no idea how much work it is. And yeah, you don't get to play as
Mm-mm.
much. So I'm happy for you that you're on break and you get to just have fun and play the game.
You
You've worked hard, you deserve it. um let's talk about your spreadsheets. How did you first get started on making a spreadsheet? Like, did you just make it for yourself and then you were like, hey, other people might like this? Or did you intend to like make something amazing for the community? Or like how did you get started on spreadsheets? And was the fortification one the first one? Or it looks like you have like several.
So many of those spreadsheets are actually not mine. If you look at the thread, you will
Okay.
see that it's broken up into my spreadsheets and Confuse Kate's spreadsheets and Macheng's spreadsheets. So Macheng
Okay.
actually started the spreadsheet vault. He's the one that started the whole community on the optimization of it. Red did the breeding, and Macheng had the rest of it. And it's just all encompassing. There's all of the event prizes are listed there throughout history, all of the information that you need for Atlas and calculators. I consider myself just the maintainer of the spreadsheet vault because when Macheng left and decided to quit the game, Confused Kate took it over. And she added a couple of hers. She made some great updates to the fortification planner that Macheng had started. And then she decided to take a break from the game. And that's when I took it over. So I am maintaining what is there, and some of them are no longer used. Some of them are very much used, such as the event pricing, the chest drops, for knowing what you're going to get out of chests, all of your Atlas event info. The fortification planner is used by many, many people. And then I have a few that I have made or I have adopted. The sigil spender was created by somebody, and when they didn't update it after a season and it appeared that they had quit the game, I asked if anybody was still using it. They said yes, so I adopted it, took the original sheet, made everything work again, and have continued maintaining it. So I consider myself more the maintainer. I didn't create a lot of these. I'm maintaining what is already there and trying to update and keep them working for the community.
That's awesome. So with that, how much work is it to maintain these sheets? It's a lot of sheets.
It can be a lot of work. It depends on the changes in the game. So if PG makes a change to the Atlas Primarchs and such, I have to go hunt down that information. And in some cases, I have to ask the community for the information. In others, I can get the game data through different means, not illegally, but it's different ways that we can actually grab the game data from the game and use that to keep the spreadsheets updated. Confuse Kate started that with the fortification planner so that you can download the fortification planner, and as long as I do not make any changes to the sheet itself, all I have to do is put in the new game files onto my Google Drive, because these are all hosted on Google Drive and they're all Google documents or Google spreadsheets. I only have to update the game files and set it up so that it reads the correct new game files, and boom, everybody's fortification planners that have already been downloaded, already been filled out, are updated. All you have to do is reload it. Confuse Kate did all of that. That's all of her setup. I've been keeping that going. It makes it really, really easy. And then I've used that understanding what she did and have expanded on that. I've fixed the research planner to do the same. I have changed the event chest drops to do the same so that it will auto update and you don't have to download it every single time. Lots of work at sometimes. I've spent days getting stuff, tinkering with stuff, and then there's other times where it's I'm in and out in 5 minutes.
Well, thank you for all the work you put into all of this. And you're so humble about it. I didn't make them, which I mean, that's true, but it sounds like you still do a lot to help the community and maintain these things, which is much appreciated. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. They helped me when I was looking for things, and so I want to make sure that they're available to help others.
How did you get so knowledgeable about the game?
Oh, playing the game, talking to people, reading the forums. There are so many resources out there. I think at one point I did a search across YouTube, and I still do occasionally, and I'll do searching for War Dragons videos, and I'll go watching flights and guides and different well, I didn't know the creators faction back then, but different creators faction members put out different things, and I will go and watch many of them in order to find not just one specific piece of information, but different viewpoints, because that can help me to understand where somebody is coming from. Because just because I like flying hunters doesn't mean that everybody's going to love it. Or just because I don't like this particular warrior doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't absolutely love it and think it's the best. So learning how that person flies and interacts with the game lets me see a different perspective and go, huh, well, that may be interesting. Let me go try it. And I have learned so many things just by doing that. And just by trying to take different perspectives from different people and then applying it not just to my game but to help others. It's just really a lot of reading.
I love
A
that.
lot of reading and a lot of research for me personally.
And that's awesome that you've been taking like whatever you've been learning and trying to give it back. That's really great. What are some things that you wished you knew when you first started playing, which maybe isn't a ton because I know you research stuff like right away.
I'm crazy that way.
Yeah.
Some things that I wished I knew. One, how stupidly hard it is to run a team. We call it herding cats for a reason, because it really is like herding cats sometimes, where you're wanting everybody to go in one direction and you always have 2 or 3 people that go in at 90 degrees and you're trying to herd them back into line. And it gets better if you have a very active team. Trust me, you can actually get them to stay focused pretty well. But if you're on a more laid back team, getting them to stay focused is not so easy. The other one is how hard in game really is. I am finally reaching in game, just barely at that point, and it is just infuriating at times because you realize you're just there and I have one more tier to go through and then I will be at nothing. There won't be anything left to do. And it's why levels keep getting added to towers and why new dragons always keep coming out is because once you get to end game, there's really no goal left.
All right, with that, do you mind if I pull up your base and you can walk us through your thinking on your setup and towers
Yeah,
and
sure,
all of
go
that?
ahead.
Okay, so I have your base up and I do see your lovely level 112 towers.
Yes. I'm actually breed locked.
Yeah.
So until
Fun!
I breed the mythic verdant, I am breed locked at 112. I could have actually gotten to 117 if I had the eggs to do it.
How close are you to that?
I should be at 117 next fort.
Nice. Congrats. So walk us through your thinking on your setup of your base.
So, as I said, I went and found stuff really early. And one of the things that you cannot find anymore, because Machang took it down even before he quit, was Machang's base setup guide. And I followed that guide religiously from about level 35, 40 until he quit, and until he took it down. And then I had already printed a copy. So I followed it until he quit, past he quit, and until basically all of the flak towers were released, because then it really changed. Because it was written when only dark flax were released at the time. And now things have really progressed. So, with me having followed that from very early on, I prioritized the second perch before the first perch. So, my second perch is higher than my first perch was for a long time. I hadn't even gotten it to 31 for like 2 years, 3 years. I think I actually got it to 31 last year. So I went mid-long very, very early on because that was the meta when I started and when I really started playing competitively. And when everybody went back to the first long and went to the mini base, the micro base setup with the perch changes, I did not. I don't recommend everybody do that now, but that was my setup at the time. Now, since I essentially have a full 10 towers that are maxed out, this works perfect for me. I keep a rage drain so that you can, hopefully, if you have fully defended base, you can drain rage off of the dragon, but you want those mage towers to be lower level if it's not your kill, so that the dragon can take them out super fast. Cannot use them for a rage anchor. And even the perch, since I'm not using it as part of the kill, I have it a little bit lowish so that my tier dragons, they can take it out super easy. They really can't use it as a rage anchor. But this only works for the lead. It mainly is set up for wars in that fashion.
Can you explain what you mean by rage anchor?
So a rage anchor, if you scroll down a little bit on the picture, you'll see that I have a level 49 lightning at the very end of my base. If you do not hit that tower and you do not kill that tower, you can just fly by really slow, not attack the tower, and leave it there. Then when somebody is following you, so if you go around, you kill the mages, the perch, and let's say you kill 1 or 2 towers on the kill and you die, but I've rage drained you. You have no rage when you die. Even if you are not using a dragon that will give you full rage going in, you've left that tower at the beginning of the base. So that forces the follower to start back there. They now have time, if they want, to fly slow and not kill that tower, which will allow the rage meter to build back up, thus nullifying your rage drain that you had just done, which is why it's called a rage anchor. You use it to just allow the follower dragon to regain any rage that was drained just before you died and did not transfer to them. And in war, you don't want that because you don't want them to have a rage anchor. In Atlas, you want them to fly at the full base. So it's kind of 2 different opposing strategies there for 2 different reasons.
I know, I was gonna say for war, you don't want it, and then for Atlas, you do want it at the end of your base. Nope. That's just tough.
So it goes really crazy, especially when you are doing a war and then you've got people trying to hit you in Atlas and you're like, wait, or you have people in Atlas and then you get declared on last minute and then you're like, wait, I have to remove this and change my portrait to get it to update. And in some cases, it's just better to leave it. just leave it out there because it's a good defender will still be able to rage drain the following dragon, but it just helps to try to catch so that they don't start with full rage, and then you have dragons like Calivore that automatically start with full rage, so that nullifies it.
Right. Talk to me about your double kill islands, your maxed towers, and the setup and thinking on them.
So really the setup is I set it up more in terms of how far the towers can actually hit. The earth flak, you also have to look at in terms of active defense. If it's not going to be actively defended, you're not going to get as much bang for your buck out of it. But you want that earth flak to shield those towers as soon as possible. So, but it's in the back because you don't want it to be killed right away either. Now, the dark flag has to be up front because the dragon almost has to be on top of the tower in order for it to start shooting it. So you put dark flag up front. You have the red mage to protect against any red spells. You have the blue mage to protect against any blue spells. You have the ice flag, which is long range, so it can go in the back, and it will disable a dragon from using spells. And timed right, you can actually shield the towers, then disable the dragon's spell so that it can't take out the earth flak as fast, while your dark flak is sitting there pounding on it, and then hopefully the howitzer in the back, it's just now come into range and is going to send the killing blow and knock the dragon down. And then the earth flak will come off. You've set the super shot on the storm behind. The dragon's going to try and kill the howitzer because that's going to be the worst one. Well, the super shot on the storm is now going to go off, shielding the howitzer, so it can't be killed. And it's just around and around. So you flying against the base, you have to take all of those into account. And then the very back, I have the lightnings because so many dragons now do not have resist to lightning. And that just also becomes a final killer. If you can super shot that, you have super shots left for that. You can just send lightning out since it's long range and just hopefully drain the last of the health if there is any on the dragon. A good flyer will dodge all of those and just destroy the base. A flyer that maybe gets caught off guard may get face planted with that howitzer and fall. I've seen it on both on my base.
Love it. It seems like a great setup, and thanks for walking us through it. It sounded awesome. I was like visualizing everything you were saying.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I did have a webcam so that you could see, because I like talking with my hands, and yeah, I'm sitting here just moving hands around and you can't see it.
I love it. So, what are some current goals that you have? It could be in the game, in War Dragons, in with GPF, and like the things that you do, or both. What are some goals?
Well, since I am still relatively new to GPF, I'm still learning the tricks of the trade on that side, essentially. Things that we do, that we don't do, which of course I can't say any of it on stream. But
right.
I want to be able to help in there, and I do still plan on continuing the spreadsheet vault. I did make that decision to drop from the team that I was in to go essentially pirate, so I was outside of all the mega alliances and just play, because I haven't played in so long, and it's just been a blast the last 3 weeks to just play again. And it has made a huge difference, because I will be honest, in January I was ready to quit. I was ready to just put the game down and walk away and be like, nope, I'm done.
Oh.
But I had somebody go, hey, you should try being a pirate first. Just walk away from the mega alliances, walk away from the drama, walk away from that, because I was talking about just walking away from the game but still trying to keep the spreadsheet vault, and they're like, no, try this first. So I did, and it really has made a huge difference, and that I can actually play and have fun again. And that's not to say that the leaders and officers and such are bad. It's just a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yep. I feel like I reached a point where I thought I was done as well, and I was gonna potentially walk away. And I went to a super dead team. I mean, like a dead team. Like there's 6 people on the team kind of thing. And I was there the entire first week of a season. And one of my friends who's here today was like, just come to my team. Just try it. Just play. Just come. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I love it. And it's been so great. And it's just like just playing again and just having fun and just being comfortable on the team you're on. Yeah, it's amazing. And I love it. And it's like you get that love back for it, you know, and then you don't have to have all that stress.
Yep. And that's why I'm still here. So my goal mainly is just to have fun. And if that means I get a mythic this season, which I'm planning on, then great. If it means that I don't, well, that's okay too. So.
Yep, because you know how to do it. And you know that if you don't get one this season, you'll get one next season.
And I do have, if anybody wants it, or if you think I should put it into the spreadsheet vault, even though it's not a spreadsheet, I still have the information that I gave everybody who joined my team on how to get a mythic free to play, although Elite does help, main game Elite does help. Completely free to play by just focusing on your progression first. And I wrote that back in fall of 2019. And it's still valid today.
Oh, nice. I'm sure that would be super helpful. I think there are a few free-to-play players that don't have a mythic yet. I think that would be super helpful.
I can certainly post it.
So, that would be great. I think a couple people here would love it. When you're not playing War Dragons, what do you like to do with your free time?
Well, I'm taking up gardening this year. We're making some raised garden beds.
Oh, that's exciting.
And so I'm going to be busy with that. Other than that, I have a multitude of hobbies. I am a computer gamer by heart. So I have several different computer games. I played Ark Survival Evolved since the day it released in early access for about 2.5 years before I finally walked away from the game.
Oh, wow.
I actually have a mod still up for that game. I do not know if it works still, but I haven't had any complaints that it's broken. So you might want to go check that out. I'm the same name everywhere, so you can pretty much find me in Steam and Epic Games and a whole bunch of places.
I'm going to add you as my friend on Steam.
Go ahead. As long as I know who is adding me on Steam, then I will go ahead and accept it. But I do get a lot of random ads because of that mod that I do not accept.
Got you. Well, I'm my same name, so you'll know it's me.
But I'm really a computer gamer at heart. I play a lot of computer games. I got a whole bunch of free games off of Epic Games. My favorite computer games really are city builders. I started with Pharaoh back in the day, believe it or not. I've worn out 2 copies of Immortal Cities: Children of the Nile over the last decade. I'm getting into weaving. I do a lot of crochet, knitting. I mean, I'm all over the place.
Gardening, lots of games, and crocheting?
Knitting, and I'm learning weaving right now.
So what have you made from knitting and crocheting, and what would you be making with weaving?
So, well, I forgot one. I also spin my own yarn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I told you I'm all over the place. Several years ago, I will see if I can find a picture. It's actually pretty old, because the picture is of my son when he was 4 or 5, and he is now 17. And it tells you how old it is. I actually took several different colors of yarn, of wool, just not yarn, but wool roving, blended them together, spun them together, and then crocheted my grandmother a scarf.
Aww.
And I gave that to her for Christmas one year. And knitting, I really like knitting socks, to be honest. I have worn out so many pairs of socks that I've knitted for myself, so has my husband. And I gave my cousin, when she had her daughter, a little over a decade ago, I gave her as a baby gift a whole set of baby hat and booties and gloves, all hand spun, hand knitted. That was 8 years ago.
That's really sweet. Baby
Yeah.
stuff.
My family's really big on homemade items, my extended family, so I have made quite a bit of stuff over the years. And I've taught myself. I learned crochet as a Girl Scout back in the 80s. But none of my family knew how to knit. They don't know how to weave. They don't know any of that. It was all crochet. They know how to sew. So I had to teach myself how to spin my own yarn, how to knit, and now I'm learning weaving. Let me show you, actually. Pull up. So I am almost finished with this tapestry. There, I'll send it to you on Discord.
Oh, that's awesome. Fun. What will you be doing with the tapestry?
It's just gonna be hanging up on the wall. It's not very
nice.
big. It's about 18 inches wide and not even a foot high. So I've got the last bit
That's
to
cute.
do and then take it off the loom and hem it and everything, but it'll just kind of hang. That was my first attempt at tapestry, so there's quite a few errors in
Oh,
it,
fun.
but I'm learning.
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
Yep. Oh, on the wall in the D&D room. Yep. Yep. I do D&D too. I'm a DM. So I do lots of things. That's why I said I'm all over the place.
Do you guys have questions for Zami? I think we made it through all my questions. And Zami, do you have anything that you want to add that we haven't talked about today? Oh, Pep wants to know, what's your favorite portrait?
So the one that I'm sporting right now, I actually really, really like. Probably because aside from the shaved side of the head, it looks the closest to what I actually look like. Laika has seen how long my hair actually is. My hair comes down to my hips.
Super
Yes.
long.
But the one that I wore for quite a while was the female veteran portrait from when PG did the fundraiser to help the veterans. Forget which program that they went through. But
I don't remember exactly, but this was it. Oh, stack
yes,
up.
stack up. Yep, there it is, right under Kazane for you. That one. I wore that one for a long time since I got that. I specifically donated to help that because my dad's retired Air Force, and my grandparents were in the military too, so that was a no-brainer for me. So I was more than happy to donate for that.
And now you have the awesome GPS.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool.
And I really like that. I have liked all of the work that Poseidon has done. Once I found what had been added under his, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want those. And then I was like, no, they're GPF only. And then I got invited to the GPF, and I'm like, what? it was a big shock.
Oh, well, that's awesome. That's cute that it was a shock, but you do so much for the community. We all super appreciate it.
I'm happy to do it.
You deserve it.
Well, I'm happy to do it. Try and give back and pay forward what I received.
Oh, Filoni's like, for what? We were talking about veterans, and Pep was saying thank your dad for his service because Zami's dad was in the military. And Filoni, thank you for your service.
Yeah. Yes, and I will tell him he doesn't get technology very much or even gaming that much. He still looks at me and goes, "Why are you doing that?" Especially when I had 2 accounts and I was playing on 2 different devices at his house, and he goes, "Seriously, you're playing on 2 games at once?" I'm like, "Yeah. What's the problem?"
Right? I've done that too. People are like, you're obsessed.
Yep. I've been called an addict before.
Like, and?
But
there are worse things to be obsessed
yes,
with.
Yes, there are.
Filoni said that. Filoni said that. He said thank you. Thank your dad for his service. Yes.
I will do that.
Autofly for the win. Well, for probably a lot of the times Zami's played, and for when I've played, there wasn't autofly. That's like within the last
That's
like a year?
Within the last year, yes. And it has made so much difference with sorcerers. Because trying to do those circles to attack and do the spells, it can sometimes be a little too much, even worse than hunters. So I put on autofly with the sorcerers almost all the time, and then I just concentrate on the spells and pinpoint attacks.
Yes. So much better. It's so great. And you can farm gold while you do other things. Just hit autofly. Yes. Don't even have to look at it. Check back.
Or
start another
my
one.
favorite, when Team Gauntlet is going, just hit autofly and run. And before autofly, you used a sorcerer with the summon, and then you just let the summon kill the base through Team Gauntlet.
Yep. Dragons that auto heal are great also. Sorcerers. So I do either Fafnir or Calivor on my invader bases, and then I don't have to think or look at it. And yes, I have Fafnir, which is a sorcerer.
I saw.
But starts with a full bar of rage and auto heals.
Yes, yes it does. I was recommending on my team when they go, should I get the hunter or the sorcerer that season? I'm going, well, the hunter will let you do more, but Fafnir's not bad either. And several do not fly hunters very well, or they don't like to fly them. So they got Fafnir, and they're more than happy flying Fafnir.
I'm on my last stone with Fafnir also. I think he's experted, actually. Ah.
Ouch. Yep. It happens fast. It happens real fast.
I know. Do we have anything else? Any other questions? Personal question. What's your doggy's name?
George.
George. That's sweet.
And the pound actually named him George.
Oh, wow.
Yes, George. Come here. I called him, he comes.
That's so sweet.
Oh. Oh, you're gonna try to lick the mic to say hi? Is that it? Okay.
Let me see if they can see him at all. Hold on. Let's try this. Not really. I wish I could move the picture. Let me turn my head off. Hold on. There he is. You can kind of see him. Barely.
Barely. He's a miniature pincher.
So cute. Pep wants to know, what's your favorite writer?
Oh, I have so many. I don't know. I love Sandra, just for the skill set. Let me go look. Close. In terms of looks, to be honest, I love Oksana. Oksana is my favorite in terms of looks, followed closely by Kazane. I know they're very different skills.
I feel like she looks different. Does she look different? No? Is she different?
No, not really. They changed her with the
I don't
animations.
have her.
In her portrait, the highest portrait, she actually has both horns. But her main portrait, one of her horns is broken.
Yeah, Spline's like animation boss now. Fine Spline was he's animated a ton of these animations, and he's now PG like I think he leads the animation team now for War Dragons.
Yeah, some of the animations are really nice.
Oh, and then what was the other writer you said that you liked?
Kazane.
I don't think I have that one.
I got her just enough to get her first shard. And then I've basically been using her as a mission writer. No, you must have her hired. She's not an unhired.
This one, that's Kasima. Okay, let's look. Oh, this one. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
I super love Venus.
Yes.
Probably my favorite. I just wish her face was pink like her feet. But otherwise, I love her.
Yeah, I had to decide not to get her because I didn't have enough sigils to get the rider plus the tower plus the festive, and I needed that tower branch more than the rider. But yeah, I like her looks. I definitely do. So many writers.
I know, they're fun. With fun animations. They each have their own fun animation.
Yes, they do. And some people, I know if you've ever read the forums, they decry every time they change the UI or add little backgrounds or such, but really it's those little touches that can really change the ambiance of a game.
Oh yeah, I like when you attack somebody now, like the background screen. I like that. That's a new little touch.
Yeah, that was a nice
cool.
touch. It really is.
Oh, what did you think of Crystal Caves? And I actually haven't read all the feedback that was given on the forums. But what were your thoughts?
So I really like the concept of Crystal Caves. The concept is whoever destroys the crystal first wins the bonus or wins the VP. But it was a win, as I'm sure that everybody saw, that the VP crystal, which was just the VP, was mega locked. so you couldn't actually go in spam megas to get that. And that was
Right.
something that was actually proposed by GPF and accepted. Um, at least I think it was proposed. Ooh. Um, but I know that the GPF for a while, even before it became GPF, has always been really about trying to balance using the megas since they were introduced to not using the megas and trying to make it to where it's not all megas. So it's not a spender event. And so I was really happy to
Right.
see that they did. They made one crystal locked. So those people that did not have the resources or didn't want to spend the resources to do megas were still going to be able to get points without having to resort to megas because the other team is doing megas and they're not going to get as many points if they don't. While still having that race to get the bonuses. Now, there were some issues, of course, which they have acknowledged. The HP for those crystals was way too high for the event. And then in other cases, for me personally, it was 5 or 6 of us on the team that were ready as soon as the PvP fighting started in Crystal Caves. And we are hard players, so we loaded up like 400 energy and started dropping megas. And I got through 3 megas and I capped the event. It was like there's no point
Right.
for me to continue playing. I have reached the price cap. So I finished out the energy just because I'd already bought it, but there really wasn't any point for me to play. So after probably the first round, those of us that had already capped the prices didn't play the event.
I think everybody did that.
And it's a fun thing. I was kind of looking at the rankings in the end and going, wow, so many teams actually did push hard. But we asked everybody on the team, going, hey, if you get all these prizes, these are the rewards you're going to get. This would be great for us. And the majority of the team got it or got very close to capping it. But it was a real grind. So I'm glad when they bring down the HP, and it will be a lot of fun. And just the sheer fact that you can't have one team just mega down every single crystal in minutes, and there will be one that they have to do supers on, gives the other team at least a little bit of a chance. Um, so there's
It was just a test this time. No? No, it was just a
Yep,
test,
it
Pep.
was just a test this time. It was a 1-day run, and I know that GPF has been arguing on the forums publicly for a long time to reduce the use of megas in PvP. So the fact that they proposed this and it was accepted, it was like, yes, finally, something for the grinders.
Super
Yep.
great. Yeah, I feel like you have to be definitely an organized team to get those VP crystals and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. You know, like you need to have the most people on and you need to go for them right away when they're out there. Otherwise, you just don't get them.
Yep. And it's also good strategy because, you can look at it and go, there's 3 different bonuses on the board and you have so many different crystals. It's like, well, we had the VP crystal, the base bonus crystal, and the dragon bonus crystal, I think. And we decided kind of at the last moment that we were going to go get the base bonus first. And so that's where we concentrated all of our firepower, and we were a little bit late off the ball. The other team was really starting to push on it, and we're like, hey, let's get this. And we loaded up and we just dropped megas and grabbed it. And then it's like, okay, let's get the next one. And we dropped megas and grabbed it. But if you're coming up against a team that you know is going to fight you hard, you have to make that decision. Which one are you going to go for? Which one are you going to not go for? So it was fun.
Once you defeat a crystal, how often were they refreshing? I know once you defeat a crystal, they refreshed, but I honestly didn't catch like
10
how
minutes.
often or how quick. 10 minutes after it was defeated. Nice.
Yeah, there was a 10-minute
that.
cooldown before the next crystal came up. And
That's nice.
no, not too long. The one issue is going to be is if it's going to be another grind. Are you going to be constantly having to be attacking all 6 hours? Because the test rounds were 4 hours, I believe. Don't quote me on this. I believe the final is probably going to be closer to 6 hours since all the other PvP events will be 6 hours. And they said that the 4 hours were just for testing. But we'll see when it fully releases what they actually do decide to put out, because of course everything's subject to change. But yeah, it will be interesting because it will give some new strategies. I just hope that they don't make it super grindy. Because fight pits right now,
Right.
you can go at the beginning of the round and the end of the round, and then those that are stragglers can hit in the middle of the round if they need to. But you don't have to fight all 6 hours.
Right. That's kind of what I was worried about.
So as long as there's a break there, we should be good.
Do you think there will be a break? Or I don't know.
Hoping so, yeah.
Do you guys have more questions for Zami?
They're all quiet today.
I know. Well, we did cover a lot. Does she like dread castles? I don't even know what that means.
I'm not sure what that means either. I'll hit anybody at this point. Our no hit list in Atlas is our 5 TA and don't hit direct neighbors, which we have 1 castle at the moment. And we have 3 teams on the no hit list. So that's about 10 teams out of what? I think there's 1,700 teams now in Atlas.
That's amazing.
So I can hit anyone that I want.
She does what she wants. Burn them all.
Pretty much, yep. I do still have friends from the alliance that Draco Genesis is in. I still have friends that I made over there. And in fact, several of them I'm like, hey, can I come test your base when I was testing dragons?
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like, if I'm in Atlas, I'll come hit you. I don't care. And that's what I'm wanting to do right now.
Sounds like a ton of fun. You deserve it.
Thank you. And then after this season, I'll see where I want to go. I may stay where I'm at. I may decide to go back into the more competitive side.
If George was an in-game dragon, which one would he be?
Oh my god, he is hyperactive. Let me go find one. I am not joking. I don't know what it is. I come home, if I go out, I come home and he's just pinging off the walls. I have to watch where I step so he doesn't trip me. He's just go. And then he'll calm down in about 5 minutes and crash.
Like a little kid that had too much
Pretty
sugar.
much, yep.
Oh, I
We've
love
gotten
it.
into a habit now. I pull up to the garage. I open the driver's side door because I'm driving. I open the garage door and I wait because he'll come zooming out the garage and up into my lap before anybody can grab him. Uh,
Now it's like a
that
ritual.
means
He
he's
knows.
probably Krellos, huh? Yeah, he's probably Krellos. Just zoom, zoom, zoom.
Love it. Krelos is OP.
Hmm.
I cannot believe there are people that did not get that dragon.
Well, to be quite honest, when it first came out, they were asking me, "What do you think of Krellos?" And I'm like, because I had to go just off what PG released. I'm like, well, he's gonna be good for Invader. And by the end of the first week, because I already had him at the end of the first week, they're like, "How do you like Krellos?" And he goes, "It makes Invader so super fast." But as for going against real bases, probably not so much. Because I hadn't figured out how to fly him against real bases yet. And so
Yeah,
fall
yeah.
comes around and everybody's using Krellos, and we're like, whoa, this, you can basically just, cut the base out with Krellos. Not necessarily kill the base or get 70%, but you could kill a few towers. And unless they were hammer spam to heal back up, you could pretty much get about 60% on a base before the towers killed you, unless you were trying to hit way up. And just like, whoa. Okay, I was wrong, so I'm sorry, guys. Because by this point, of course, summer was over. You couldn't get Krellos. And there were several people who took my advice and did not get him.
Oh!
But I will say with the caveat, I was like, he's the discount dragon. So get, if nothing else, get him for the prices, for the half off prices. And they didn't get him, so.
It's so rare that a discount is so good. I've only skipped a discount dragon one time ever, and I regretted it, so I think I'll never skip a discount ever again.
Yep.
It was Gunner. I skipped
Oh,
Gunner.
Gunner was so cool.
By the time I got Gunner on my alt, so when I still used my alt, I had Gunner, and by the time I realized I really liked Gunner, the discount was over. And I was like, I was pissed, and I was like, I'm not gonna pay full price for a discount dragon.
Yep.
But like, I begrudgingly, seriously regretted it. And I'm like, I'm never not getting a discount ever again.
No, I always say that now, which is, at the very least, get the discount dragon for the half off prices. But if you're in an Atlas team, and even if you're remotely competitive, the base boost has to come first. So if you can only get one discount line, get the base boost, because it will help you the most.
I now save all my chests after opening discounts. And I was able, so last season I saved all my gold. I opened during discount weeks, and then I saved all my gold the whole season. And then so I started with the discount dragon, like usual. And I've never done base boost before. And my friend Floney kind of twisted my arm, and he's like, just do it while it's discounted. You're gonna get at least halfway. And so I got like halfway, and we had 1 week to go, because that was just during the first week. And I was like, do you think I can finish it? And he was like, let's do the math. So we mathed it out, and it was like, you're not going to finish it, but you're going to get close. Well, I ended up finishing it.
Very nice. Ah!
First season I've ever done both, and now I think I'm an addict, and I'm going to have to do both every season, because you can't go up in like power and then go down in power. Oh.
Yep, it becomes almost a requirement now, so. And the timer's alone in there.
So now yes, definitely. Now I'm trying to save both bronze and gold, and then I'll just open Draconics as I have to.
So what I did is I had Uh, what did I have? Let me pull up my season planner. That'll help. I have not opened any bronze chests this season. I still have, because this is how the mentality gets you of the snowballing if you do it long enough. Come on, open. Thank you. Uh, I have 9,400 bronze chests.
Nice.
But one thing that I learned from Riversong actually was you save up your bronze and your draconic and your platinum and your gold chests, and you only open what you absolutely need to that first week. So you finish one discount branch. You use all of the golds out of that discount branch to finish the second one. And you drain it down to where you have to buy golds with rubies. And then you spend just enough rubies to finish that discount branch plus the egg mission branch, depending on if breeding's in the first 2 weeks. And then you stop. So this season I started with something like 650, 700 gold chests and drained down to 0 and got the 2 discounts plus the egg mission boost. Of course, I had like 300 draconic chests too and 90 platinum chests that I opened. And I completed both discounts and the egg mission boost to the 125%, got 13 keys, and I still have 200 gold chests and I haven't even touched my bronze. And I started the season with like 7,000 bronze. So
that's so awesome.
And then I'm just going to save it all. Everything that I get will get saved until the beginning of the next season. And then I'm only going to open what I need to open. Unless, I run out of PvP items halfway through the season, then I may open some bronze to get some PvP items. Or some golds. But you keep that mentality and you just save. You open at the beginning of the season, you figure out what you're going to need throughout the season. Because you can get that mythic last day. As long as you are okay getting that mythic last day, you don't have to open everything. So you just save it and save it and save it. And then you open it at the beginning of the season. And eventually you're not going to be opening everything. Because as you go higher and you start getting higher points and more rewards, you're just going to start building that stockpile. I hear of people that have 20,000 bronze chests. Or people that open 15,000.
So when you have 20,000 bronze, when do you finally crack into them? When there's a season, there's 2 mythics you want?
Maybe.
Or... Okay. And then when are we going to have an open all button for that bronze?
Actually, PG is working on that. I do not know. They did not say when it's coming, but we're hoping in the next update, which will hopefully be in 2 weeks.
Oh, cool.
Now, that's my speculation because it wasn't available for the beginning of the season, and it wasn't in this last update, so maybe it's going to be in the next one. Because Galileo did say that they found a minor bug with it. That's why they didn't get it in.
Oh.
So once they get it into the next update, then we should get it. But hopefully, knock on wood, it will be there at the beginning of next season. Because opening that many bronze chest is going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, your finger would be sore.
Yep. I'm always like, open 1,000, go do something else for 30 minutes. Open 1,000, go do something else for 30 minutes.
Yeah, super time consuming. Battery draining.
Yes. Oh, another thing that came out since the time that I started to the time that is now. Auto breed, instant breed. Yay!
Yes! That's so great. So you don't just have to like hit the auto breed and then walk away and come back in an hour.
Yep. Set it down, come back. Are you done yet? Oh, okay. Can't do anything for... do you want me to move your phone? No. Why? It's on the charger. Well, why is it on? Because it's breeding. What?
Yeah, it's all hot. You pick it up, it's like super
Yep.
hot from the processing. Oh, yeah.
So,
The good old days.
yes. Yes, it is. Oh,
2 hours of nothing but auto breed.
yeah, and that probably be even longer today. But
Yeah, with the higher
yep.
tiers. They've definitely been making a lot of quality of life improvements for us in the game.
They have. They seem to be few and far between, but if you look back over everything that has been done in just the last 3 years, there's a lot of stuff that's been done. There's also been some stuff that the community didn't like and completely rebelled against, but that's to be expected.
Do you like base skins?
Yes, I'm. I will have to say I am a sucker for cosmetics. That's why I said at the beginning I don't buy any packs, but I will buy the skins.
You and I both totally have Airborne. I call it Airborne.
Yep,
Uh,
I have the winter dwarf skin, and I have
yep.
the green and the purple.
I originally bought the purple, and then I also bought the blue. And I don't use it. And the purple was my favorite, but the snow one came out, the dwarf one,
Yep,
Ereborn. And I had to have that. And I'm super hoping they do a cute ones for spring.
that would be really nice to have something new. I know that people have been asking for entire base skins, but to be honest,
Yes.
do you remember the oh, I forgot the name of the season. It was the Venetian inspired season where they did the
I don't know if I remember that. I remember there was like a Halloween one.
now the Halloween one I think was right after that. They actually made it like a dark theme because we'd been asking for a night theme and it was so dark.
Mm-hmm.
You actually could barely see where the towers were if you didn't have your brightness all the way up.
Well, I feel like they could do it better.
So, yeah, it was a which one was that? Because it was the fall 2018 was the Venetian themed one. I don't remember what it was called. But they actually had the base where it looked like the towers were on top of the buildings and that there were actually canals running through. It looked really cool. The problem was it worked in the main game, but it didn't work in Atlas.
Aw.
And if you turned it off, because there were people clamoring, I don't want this, and let me turn it off. So they put in the button, which still exists, to switch to the seasonal map and switch off the seasonal map. But you switched.
I know, I want to turn it back on.
Yeah, you can't. They disabled the button. They never removed it though. If you switched off the seasonal map, all of the towers sunk in Atlas. You couldn't attack anything
What?
because they were all under the ground. And it was just like, what? Yeah, it made Atlas basically unplayable because only a third of the towers were visible to hit because you were hitting the ground instead of the towers, but the towers could hit you. So it was just like, no, 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 this is bad. So you were forced to fly the Venetian base for a season because they could not fix it. If you turn the Venetian base skin off,
Aw.
it broke Atlas, but it worked fine in Atlas if you had it on. So after
Aw.
that, they removed that skin and they put in the dark one, which was okay, but each time that they did, there were so many problems with the hitboxes, with the
Problems?
glitches, that were just like, you know what, no. So that's why I suspect that they're not going to ever bring back the full base skins because there are just too many problems
Sad.
with it.
I liked the idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but it's like it's easier to reskin colors than it is to change the actual layout and look. So I think it would be cool if they like recolored it so that winter, instead of the grass, you had kind of a whitish.
Snow.
For fall, you
Yeah.
had like a falling leaf pattern modeled across it or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, or even like a, brownish, reddish leaf
yeah.
color.
But that's the whole reason, because I was there for that. It was a nightmare. Attacking at the night was a nightmare because it was so dark. Um,
Well, I do like what they're giving us now for base
I do too.
skins. And I hope they keep doing it because it started with just like colored stuff, and now I feel like it's getting cooler and cooler.
And yes,
Flo-
Floney, it was really cool that they started the base skins when you got both mythics. So I'm glad that they are not just exclusive for getting both mythics anymore, because that made it
right, so this is the one that
spinderly.
Filoni has, I think.
Yep, the spring blossom. Yep.
That is cool. Yeah, I'm super glad they let us buy them.
Yes.
Not all of them, but yes, I want more.
No, I think it'd be cool if they still did those, but I know that they have to expend their
The
resources
challenges.
wisely. Yep. And it's probably better for all players if they just release them so that you can buy them. I mean, $5, it's not that bad. I think I bought the base skins pack for 5 or 10 when they first came out. Oh, look, it's in the store today. The
The
base
base
skin.
skin?
Yeah. The purple and the blue.
Mine's not because I
Oh,
bought
well.
mine.
I don't have the blue, so it came up. It's $4.99 for purple
Yeah,
and blue.
so I bought the. Oh, it's on sale. So I had bought the purple one first, and it was like
Yep.
$5. And then I didn't buy the blue one. And then they did the purple and the blue in like a double pack
Yep.
for like, I think it was $10. And I asked them, maybe it was only $5. I don't remember. I don't remember what it was, but I asked them if I could just have it since I already paid the $5 or whatever. And they were like, nope. So then I was a sucker and I just bought it. And I don't even use it because I'm using this one now. And then if something cooler comes out, I'm going to use whatever's cooler.
Yep. It allows you to
Uh,
personalize it, which it really helps to help personalize things like that. But I know that there's always issues and glitches whenever they do something. Or I have Gunner's helmet and Hilder's crown. Is that what they are? Hilder's crown.
I think so,
And
yes.
UVS's wreath.
Do you think they'll do any more stuff like that?
I have no idea. It would be cool if they did, but we haven't had anything since, so maybe not.
Yeah, since that winter season. I don't know if I have a single dragon that has that stuff.
Yep.
Armor. I have them, but I don't have the dragons they go to.
Uh, well, I could actually see. Can I add UVS here? No, you know what? Let me add UVS. I have no idea what level you are, but UVS would probably die on your base anyways today.
487.
Yeah, die very quickly. But you might be able to get a defend screenshot really fast.
Sure. Well, we can watch, yeah.
Because I don't even have a writer or anything on him now. what's your in-game name again?
LaikaDream.
LaikaDream. Oh, there you are. Duh. Sorry.
That's okay, and I just messaged you. I think you can attack me from that mail.
Alright. Oh yeah, he's only 1 billion boosted. I'm not gonna even bother.
Oh.
There you go. But he's wearing his wreath, so you can...
Aw. Let's see.
Oh, it's not gonna even show it?
No! Isn't that rude?
Oh, wow. It doesn't even show it. Okay.
Maybe because the servers haven't sank? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I'll just swap out. I'll send you a picture in the den so that you can see it.
Okay.
It's... I wish they would do stuff like that again, because I think many people would actually buy it.
Totally.
Yeah, something else for players to spend money on.
Right, which is good for the game
Right.
creators.
You know, we complain about it, but still. Say, oh, stop moving. Okay. Discord. I play on an iPad, so I actually have to take a
cool.
picture of my iPad screen with my phone. Oh, that's a horrible picture.
Oh, cute.
You get all the sunbeams. But yeah, that's his little wreath.
I'm gonna add another picture of you. That way I can scroll it up. I think that'll be big enough. There we go. Okay. Because remember, my Discord is challenged. Okay. Now I'll scroll up. Can you guys see? Kind of, not really.
No, not really. It's hidden behind your L, I think.
Kind of. I can kind of see it. The center head. The center head has the wreath.
Oh, there. Well, yeah, you finally got it. Looks like.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Barely.
Yep, that's my time. Now, you know what? I should take.
Well, Zami, I think we've gone over a ton. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Thank you for being here with us, chat.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here and help answer questions, and I'm always available. Well, not always available, but I'm available quite a bit on the forums, so feel free to hit me up.
Yeah, if you guys have anything you need help with that Zami can help you with, don't hesitate to reach out to her. All right, my friends, I will be back on tomorrow for our $20 in-game giveaway. Zami, hang on the line with me if you will, and everybody have a great rest of your day.
Have a good evening.